A pure Android experience has proven to be successful on a number of smartphones, and ASUS is now beginning to explore that market with one killer mid-range smartphone. The ZenFone Max Pro M1 is what the company calls it, a gaming phone that doesn't break the bank. It runs pure Android Oreo 8.1 and has got a powerful Snapdragon 636 processor and a 5000 mAh battery inside. But is this a deal that's too good to be true? Time to find out. Like the previous ZenFone Max Plus M1, the ZenFone Max Pro M1 came in as a surprise announcement from the company. Not only this is a really good looking phone, it packs a number of features that makes it a serious contender to Xiaomi's Redmi Note 5. Unlike the other ZenFone Max models we have come across, the ZenFone Max Pro M1 features a really solid build with a metal body. It sports a 6-inch 18:9 Full HD Plus display with thankfully no disturbing notch. It isn't the brightest display we have seen, but it provides decent color saturation and contrast, which is generally decent enough for watching movies. The ZenFone Max Pro M1 also features a mono loudspeaker, which the company calls it a 5-magnet speaker with a smart amplifier. It sounds pretty loud when maxed out, but gets distorted really bad when playing music with lots of instruments playing at the same time.
Baby, can you move around the rhythm so we can't get with and do round? Get us a rock and roll round. Let's down, down, body, body, coming with the super hottie. Let's go. So hello, baby, can you move around the rhythm 'cause you know we'll.
Headphone audio is unfortunately disappointing with flat frequencies, and there's no built-in audio software to help improve that. The rear fingerprint scanner is also a hit and miss. It works well when you're on your lock screen, but requires a little pressure to be applied if you want to wake up your phone. Alternatively, you can use your face to unlock the phone, but it is sadly not reliable. For the first time ever, ASUS hasn't installed the Zen UI skin on top of Android. Even though the ZenFone Max Pro M1 isn't on board the Android One program, ASUS has promised to deliver the latest Android software and security patches as soon as they are made available. The ZenFone Max Pro M1 performs reasonably fast during my review. Even though with no custom skin running on top, there's still occasional lags in the user experience which can be attributed to the 3GB RAM I have on my unit. But otherwise, there are no app compatibility issues or false closes. If you are thinking to buy the ZenFone Max Pro M1 to game with the hope of cranking up graphics quality and hoping for smooth frame rates, you're going to need to lower your expectations on that, as the phone's GPU isn't as powerful as the Snapdragon 800 series chip. I have to set the graphics quality to low on PUBG Mobile in order to achieve playable frame rates. It can actually go up to medium graphics quality, but I can assure you that you are not going to be able to shoot your enemies properly with that inconsistent frame rate. The good news here is that the phone doesn't heat up terribly when gaming for extended durations, and that 5000 mAh battery holds up very well after numerous sessions of gameplay. The camera department of the ZenFone Max Pro M1 is where ASUS tends to cut corners a little to make this phone affordable, but by all means, it doesn't have terrible cameras. My review unit comes equipped with a 30MP f2.2 main sensor supported by a secondary 5MP sensor for measuring depth information. The phone also uses a Snapdragon camera app that is less capable than the ASUS camera app, which I totally don't see the point of not using the latter, as it isn't going to affect the phone's performance. But overall, image quality is acceptable in good lighting conditions with good detail and dynamic range, though it tends to get the wrong exposure at times. Like most mid-range phone cameras, it doesn't do well with low light, as it tends to get the wrong focus and causes soft spots in the frame. As for the front camera, it is sufficient for casual selfies. The ZenFone Max Pro M1's battery life is impressive as what ASUS claims to be. It could easily hold up 2 days of charge when used moderately. I streamed 4 hours of Netflix over 4G, and the battery percentage merely dropped 30% in my tests. However, what's disappointing here is that ASUS doesn't include Qualcomm's Quick Charge to make things even better. So it is going to take around 2 hours to juice up the phone if you totally exhaust the battery. All thanks to the new LTE modem of the Snapdragon 636 SoC, the ZenFone Max Pro M1 supports dual 4G standby when 2 SIM cards are used. VoLTE is still not supported at the moment, but there's no need to worry about voice call quality made over the phone. In a nutshell, the ZenFone Max Pro M1 delivers its purpose as a powerful mid-range phone with an insane battery life. It's hard to find any fault with it, apart from some minor performance issues and the camera's image quality, which isn't a deal breaker considering what ASUS has brought to the table. The ZenFone Max Pro M1 goes official on May 31st, 2018 with an expected retail price tag of 699 ringgit. There is, however, a 6GB RAM model being mentioned to us during the briefing, which will obviously perform much better than my current review unit with a better main camera system as well. ASUS is definitely giving Xiaomi's Redmi Note 5 a run for its money for what it has done on this phone, especially if you prefer a clean Android experience and want to have that insane battery life. If you have the choice of choosing between the ZenFone Max Pro M1 and Redmi Note 5, which one would you go for? Tell me about it in the comments down below and be sure to give us a thumbs up if you like this review. There's going to be more tech videos coming right up, so make sure you are subscribed to our channel, follow us on the usual social channels, and I'll catch you in the next one.